We have with us Aryama and Sundaram, senior advocate of the Supreme Court. Subramaniam Swamy, BJP leader. In our studios in Delhi, we have Kamal Mitra Chenoy, who's a member of the Aam Aadmi Party and a professor at JNU. We have Manjinder Singh Sirsa of the Youth Akali Dal Delhi wing. Ajoy Bose and Hartosh, senior journalists. Thank you very much. Let's begin. Now, how is this? How are you going to justify this, Kamal Mitra Chenoy? You know, this is really, you painted yourself in a corner. Now, if you want to do something unconstitutional in terms of the process, how will Arvind Kejriwal go ahead and explain if it is proven that what he was trying to do was basically unconstitutional? Obviously people will not believe him if he says, I have not read the Constitution or I am not aware of the law. Nobody's going to believe him if he says that.
Well, Arnab, you have talked about people knowing the details. It seems you haven't looked at Soli Sorabji's analysis of the situation. And Soli, remember, was Attorney General of the NDA government. So he has no bias against the NDA. And he's one of our foremost lawyers. And he's saying whatever Kejriwal did was correct.
So Mr. Kamal Mitra Chenoy, I can challenge you right here. Right? We can discuss the law, okay? You are a professor of comparative politics and political theory. It may be possible that Arvind Kejriwal is not aware of the Constitution. But I cannot believe that Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy of JNU is not aware of the law.
No, are you saying Soli Sorabji is not aware of the Constitution?
I'm asking you whether you are aware.
No, I'm telling you. You have talked about details.
No, I'm saying to you.
This is an important detail.
Yes, sir. I'm saying to you. I'm saying this to you, sir. I have great regard for Soli Sorabji. Don't keep shooting off his shoulders. I can ask you. Why don't you answer for me? I'd say here today.
No, I'm not a constitutional lawyer.
No, but let's get the facts right. Now, I can point by point. Now, one second. Now, Arvind Kejriwal says in the assembly today, Professor, just allow me, I'll take 10 seconds. Arvind Kejriwal, this is not about you or me. This is about getting the truth out to the people of this country, right? When Arvind Kejriwal is playing this martyr act.
Your channel has made up its mind about the truth.
No, the truth is very clear. See, there is only one version of the truth, Kamal Mitra Chenoy. The fact is this, that...
Well, it depends. You've used one version.
Well, I have a right to question Mr. Kamal Mitra Chenoy. Arvind Kejriwal says that nowhere in the Constitution is it written that the Delhi government needs the permission of the centre to enact the Jan Lokpal bill. Now, my reading of you don't need the permission of the centre, you need to go through a certain process, right? Under the Delhi Act, the NCT Act, the transaction of rules of the NCT Act. I'm sure you're aware of Article 239A of the Constitution. Right? Or should we not look at all that? Should we not look at the Ministry of Home Affairs order of 2002? It's not just nobody's blocking Arvind Kejriwal, you see. He can get the same thing done.
Well,
he can get the same thing done. It may take a little bit more time by taking it through the process. Unless Professor Chenoy, he is timing it to the Lok Sabha election. Unless he wants to do the drama now, so that he's timing it to the Lok Sabha campaign.
No, he had already laid the ground for this.
As you mean to say, he had planned this thing out?
Against Mukesh Ambani.
No, one second.
Yes, and the fact that he got Talihani, he got a former cabinet secretary, a former expenditure secretary, all to be party to the FIR against Mukesh Ambani. And he has said that Mukesh Ambani is an industrialist who dabbles heavily in politics. But so he has prepared the ground.
No, but what are we talking about? You're moving from one thing to the other. I'll get Subramaniam Swamy. See, Mr. Chenoy.
You have to
Mr. Chenoy, my first question to you is this. A lieutenant governor has specifically said the bill cannot be introduced, right? Right? So you are completely bulldozing his opinion. I'm not even talking about the Solicitor General. The Lieutenant Governor sends a letter to the Speaker of the Assembly today and says that the bill cannot be introduced, right? Yet Kejriwal goes ahead and he tries to do so. The Lieutenant Governor writes a letter on the 9th of February and then he reiterates his stance in a letter to the Speaker today. It's under Section 9.2 of the government It's under Section 9.2 of the Government of the National Capital Territory of Delhi Act 1991. to which Arvind Kejriwal is sworn. He's sworn. He was sworn in under these rules.
He sworn to the Constitution.
Sir, this is the Constitution. This National Capital Territory Act of 1991 is under the Constitution. It says there is a certain set procedure.
Not valid. According to solely Sorabji,
sir, I am asking you. You defend it.
You want me to go by the Constitution or times now?
Sir, I am going by the Constitution of this country, and I put out a law. You know, Arvind Kejriwal, what he's doing is...
Interpreted by whom?
So I don't know. I mean, this is the law is laid out. You can throw the law. But then why did you take us? Why did you get sworn in under the Constitution?
Dr. Swamy will tell you there are interpretations of the law. He probably has a different interpretation.
This is not.
But you can have more than one interpretation
sir,
of the law.
I am.
You know that there are so many constitution debates.
I'm simply telling you that you cannot break the Constitution of India down. You cannot destroy it.
If he has done something unconstitutional, he will be punished. It is a crime to do certain unconstitutional
No.
things.
1 second.
So do you think he walked in?
What he's doing is...
he walked into the Delhi Assembly unprepared?
So I'm saying he's completely putting wrong facts out in public domain, and you know that when there are bills which take money out of the consolidated fund of the capital, it's a money bill. It needs to be pushed in a certain manner. Okay, let's get Subramaniam, Swamy, and Aryama and Sundaram in because it's not between you and me. My point is, anyway, let me put my point of view aside. Subramaniam, Swamy, does Arvind Kejriwal really not know the law? He's given the civil service exam. Does he really not know the Constitution?
Well, he is sworn by the Constitution, so he has to know the law, and he cannot plead ignorance of the Constitution after having taken oath on it. I have the Constitution right here before me.
Yes.
And the wordings are very clear.
Yeah.
And what really matters is not what Mr. Sorabji or the former Chief Justice giving opinions. We see in the legal profession, Sundaram will also confirm this, we get opinions all the time. But ultimately the procedure is the President, the Lieutenant Governor, the Speaker.
Yeah.
That's the protocol, the warrant of protocol. The Lieutenant Governor says you can't do something. He quotes Section 239AA, subpart 3. And subpart B of that, and it very clearly says that anything which is repugnant to a law which is already passed in Parliament cannot be, it will be held void.
Yeah.
That's very clear.
Yeah.
So now here is a Lieutenant Governor who has himself a battery of lawyers to assist him, says that this is illegal, it's unconstitutional. Now the Chief Minister ought to abide by it. Not say, bring in somebody who's outside the system like Mr. Sorabji and say that his opinion is what matters. Okay. That's not how a government functions. This is the typical shoot and scoot policy that they've been following all along.
What we are attempting to do here on Newshour is, okay, fine, shoot and scoot, and he addresses 500 committed people outside his office and they all cheer him on and all that. It's nice, happy television for a moment for Arvind Kejriwal. But the fact is, we need to go into the matter in detail. I'm asking Professor Kamal, Mitra, Chenoy, let me get Aryama and Sundaram in, that now Subramaniam Swamy quotes 239AA of the Constitution. 239AA of the Constitution makes it very clear, which deals with special provisions with respect to Delhi. It says very clearly, Professor Kamal, Mitra, Chenoy, you know this better than me, you actually teach this at JNU, that the Legislative Assembly has the power to make laws for the whole or part of the NCT with respect to any matters enumerated in the state or concurrent list, as far as any such matter is applicable to union territories, except matters with respect to entries 1, 2 and 18 of the state list. Now, let me tell you, Professor, entry 1 relates to public order. Aryama and Sundaram, entry 2 relates to the police. Entry 18 relates to the rights over land. And a simple understanding of this means that the Jan Lokpal bill could potentially come under the ambit of these subjects, which means, Professor Chenoy, it's not like the Jan Lokpal bill does not happen, but you have to take it through the Lieutenant Governor only because it is laid out in the Constitution of India that you have to. So Arvind Kejriwal says, if anybody, he does this whole drama and he says, if anybody says I'm willing to lay down my life for the constitution and all that. You don't have to lay down your life, but you just have to be honest to the people you are speaking to, right?
So now you're accusing him of dishonesty?
No, I am saying today, Professor, see, I'm telling you, Professor.
He's not literate in the Constitution and he's dishonest.
Professor, see, let us not indulge in the game of rhetoric. Let us be very factual on this. I have proven to you right now.
But then what are you doing, Arnab?
I have given you fact, Professor, that section 239AA of the Constitution, there is very implicitly, it makes it very clear that this kind of a law has to go through a certain way, right? So what the worry is...
there are other sections of the Constitution.
No, 1 second. I'm giving you this...
only 239A.
As far as this is concerned, it's 239AA, and we can also, continue to read it about matters which are...
No, there's more.
No, Professor, let's not talk in the air. The fact is very, very clearly this, that I believe...
No, let me quote some sections of the Constitution.
No, a lot of people believe, Professor, that Arvind knows all this actually. You understand what I'm saying? Arvind Kejriwal knows all this. But he pretends he does not.
If he knew all this, then why do you think he resigned?
No, you mean he did not know all this?
Why did he push the bill if he knew all this?
You mean he did not know? You mean he did not know all this?
No, he knew.
He
knew all this, but not the way you are putting it.
No, but he knew. I'm sorry, but this is escapism. You are going and saying one thing to the people, you're fooling the people. And then you're trying to be a martyr.
No, he's not.
Well, I mean, let's get Aryama and Sundaram.
He said the same thing to the same people and the same thing to other people.
You see one thing. Please understand. I put out a provision of the Constitution, and I'm putting this question out. Does Arvind Kejriwal not know the law of the Constitution? Aryama and Sundaram, is he unaware? Or is he pretending to be unaware to suit his immediate political motives? What would you say to the professor?
Arnab, I don't think there's any doubt. We can argue till the cows come home about interpretations of every article and every sub-article of the Constitution. But I don't think there's any manner of doubt as to what the entire scenario here is. My own disappointment is I saw an idealist who was entering politics, who was going to do a lot for governance. And I'm really seeing a person who's very keen on political aggrandizement. Because let's be very frank. Lawyers can argue, everyone can argue about constitutional provisions, but actually the Aam Aadmi is not aware of the niceties of Article 239AA, etc. What he is being told very simply is that here I'm trying to expose corruption and every which way I am being stopped. Now, it's a form of populism, and it's a form of populism which will perhaps have short-term dividends. I cannot believe that the people of India will not see through it.
But then you're fooling the people, you see.
But surely they can be
But then Aryama and Sundaram, you're fooling the people.
This is a clear
you're fooling the people.
Of course you're fooling the people. Of course you're fooling the people. That's what I said my disappointment was. I saw an idealist who was going to bring me good governance. I didn't see a person who's going to become another shrewd political animal and aim at political aggrandizement, which is exactly what he has done. And today I see a different Arvind Kejriwal from whom I saw 3 months ago.
And does it appear? Does it appear to you?
He's created a storm out of nothing.
No, he created a storm out of nothing over Somnath Bharti. It appears to most people today because
No. My point is, his only aim is to create a storm. That's the whole point I'm making. His only aim is to create a storm, get people to notice him, and make his own political...
So you see, Hartosh...
Gone is the idealism, gone is the clean governance, gone is making a good working state. All those ideals seem to have taken the back burner.
But everyone's going to read through this. This is political cunning to the extreme. Where you take your political cunning, you add in a healthy dose of ambition to it. So your cunning and ambition on the one side, you pretend you are unaware of the facts, you present yourself as a crusader for the people. I mean, the fact is, it appears today, Hartosh, it would appear that Arvind Kejriwal has made the second attempt to bring himself down. Because he had to do this. The day he was sworn in, he had to do this, and he tried to do it the first time by defending his embarrassment of a minister, Somnath Bharti. When he realized that was not working, he did a deal with the Lieutenant Governor. He did a silent deal with the Lieutenant Governor. He didn't do a deal this time because he wanted to be brought down. He realized somewhere that his promises on power, electricity, slum rehabilitation, promises to the women, you can't deliver in 3 months. So the best thing is to eject and to attempt to seek some form of political martyrdom. Hartosh, what would you say to Kamal, Mitra and Chenoy?
Look, Arnab, it's getting very, very difficult to speak to people who are committed to the Aam Aadmi Party. Those of us outside this movement who were sympathetic to the movement find that people are now so emotionally invested in this Aam Aadmi Party business that if you tell them dispassionately things are going wrong, what you're doing does not hold up to what you started with, this is just a political tamasha aimed at short-term returns, as Arun Sundaram said. Suddenly you're told you're Mukesh Ambani's, you've sold out to Mukesh Ambani. I mean, I would love to see a case against Mukesh Ambani proceed to its eventual conclusion. But that doesn't mean that I like what the Aam Aadmi Party is doing right now. And that is why they are not getting the message.
Professor, it worries you today. What about all the other promises you made to the people? Regularization of unauthorized colonies, rehabilitation of people living in slums, contract labor, setting up courts to ensure speedy justice. What happens to all that today? Simply on one issue on which you are factually incorrect, you step down and resign. You think you played the brinkmanship card too far, Professor Chenoy here. You think it's going to rebound on you?
No, I think there are two. No. There are 2 points to be made. Number one, there's a limit to how much can be done in 48 days.
One second.
In that, promises made about water tariffs and electricity tariffs were carried out.
No, explain that limit to how much can be done in 48 days. Why were you promising you would make a change in 90 days then?
The promise was 30 days.
Yes, what you're saying, Arvind Sundaram, what you're saying to Professor Chenoy?
I thought the promise was 30 days, not 48 days.
Absolutely.
And we all knew it was an absurd promise, but it was a promise, again, a great political stunt.
But the water and electricity
you
was
divert
done.
the attention into something
that's
else,
all right, sir.
and then create havoc somewhere else.
And then
but play the martyr.
Number one.
Cunning. Great political cunning.
Let's leave the 48 days because it was done within 30 days, but it's 48 days of his term when he resigned. Second point I want to make is the point about idealism and political theatre. Arvind Kejriwal was trying to do a new kind of politics. He might have made some mistakes, but on crucial issues, including Somnath Bharti, where a judicial inquiry has been ordered by the Lieutenant Governor, he knew what he was doing.
Sanjay,
and the reason
there are 10,000 people.
The Lokpal bill was because he wanted another bill, the Swaraj bill to
Sir, nobody is against the Lokpal bill. Why don't you understand? It's not against the Lokpal bill. It's the manner in which you want to stamp over the constitution and push it in a certain manner. Mr. Sirsa raises his hand out there. It's nobody. Nobody's against the Jan Lokpal bill. There is already a Lokpal bill which is fairly tough, which has been pushed through at the center. Now the Jan Lokpal bill...
Come on, Arnab, you can't be serious. Fairly tough, the earlier bill.
That's your matter of... The Jan Lokpal bill, nobody is against it. They're only saying take it through the LG. You did a deal with the LG to save Somnath Bharti. The same Arvind Kejriwal went and did a backroom deal with the Lieutenant Governor to save Somnath Bharti. Why did he pretend this time to be taking him on?
But Arnab, is this how a Lieutenant Governor is supposed to behave, do a deal?
So,
I don't think that is
I'm sorry, was the Lieutenant...
the constitutional spirit.
The Lieutenant Governor was behaving fine when you did a backroom deal with him to save your minister? 3 weeks back, Mr. Sirsa wanted to come in. Yes, Mr. Sirsa, of the Akali Dal.
See, Arnab, this was a high voltage drama which is exposed. Had Arvind Kejriwal serious about Jan Lokpal bill, he would have gone for the amendment in a current Lokayukta, which already exists in the Delhi government, with all those forms which you want for Lokayukta, for the Jan Lokpal bill, but actually do not want to pass the Jan Lokpal bill. He actually wants to run away from the government. He is unable to perform. He had 18 promises with Delhi people. Now, what is with the other 17? Did he ever mention that? Did he ever mention that first of all I will fulfill this Jan Lokpal bill, then only I will run this government? Because it was a political stunt. It was a designed martyrdom. Just because of the Lok Sabha elections And he was well aware that he won't be able to perform in Delhi and he will be badly exposed. And you won't be surprised here. This all drama is designed by Congress. Actually, they want to stop Narendra Modi.
Okay.
Now, when Congress was also finding very hard, they were not able.
No,
Mr. Kejriwal was not able to sustain his vote bank.
No, one second. Okay, Mr. Sirsa, one second.
So this
I'm
was
not
the
interested
reason.
in the Congress, BJP,
Now the
Akali Dal
Congress
politics
want
here.
him to quit.
No. My question is today.
Listen.
Mr. Sirsa, 1 minute.
No, but it's a very interesting fact. It's a very interesting fact. You must.
Can I come in?
Mr. Sirsa, 1 minute. I'll come to your interesting political angle in a bit. Yes, Ajoy Bose.
Okay.
Yeah, the moment Arvind Kejriwal formed the government 48 days ago, this was a very curious creature. They had only 28 people and they had the support of a party which Arvind Kejriwal wanted to demolish, and there was no question that this government would continue. Let us face it. There was no question of this government continuing. Arvind Kejriwal was waiting for the right time to bail out. So let us not waste our breath on Arvind Kejriwal providing governance to Delhi.
No, you're saying he was never interested in governance.
Government lasting.
No, 1 second. 1 second.
Never.
No,
it was a question of putting together. Please, let me finish. He was putting together a certain package which would have helped him in coming back with larger numbers in Delhi and to make a dent in the 2014 Lok Sabha elections. So all these technicalities about constitution, unconstitution, this is pure politics that is happening. The elections will tell us whether this game succeeds or not. He has always played high-risk politics, Arvind Kejriwal, and I'm not at all surprised at the way things have gone.
No, because
only the elections will tell us whether this will work or not.
Kamal, Mitra, Chenoy, the simple question everyone will ask is that suppose I concede you have a problem with the Ministry of Home Affairs order that demands that the Delhi Assembly in certain bills takes the approval of the centre before the passage of the bills. Sanjay Chai, I'm coming to you. I just want to get Kamal Mitra Chenoy's view, then I'll come to you. Because tonight a very serious charge is being made that Arvind Kejriwal never wanted to govern. For him, Delhi was a stepping stone to national politics. That he had planned this out on the day that he was sworn in. In other words, a very serious charge made here that Arvind Kejriwal was playing with the sentiments and belief and faith of the people in Delhi without telling them that this is use and throw politics of the extreme, where you step over Delhi to seek martyrdom and then say, make me Prime Minister. My question to you is, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, if this is not true, then why did Arvind Kejriwal not correct the flaw in the system? He could have gone to the court challenging it. You can change it forever. Can't you, Aryaman Sundaram? Couldn't Arvind Kejriwal have challenged the 2002 Ministry of Home Affairs order and its constitutional validity in court? Could he have done that?
Of course he could have. But as long as those rules stand,
yeah, but he could have, right?
The government is bound to go by the rules.
No.
So they could have always challenged it.
So he could have, and therefore, if Kamal Mitra Chenoy believes solely Sorabji is correct,
if he had challenged it that way, where was the drama?
No.
Sorry, Arnab, let me just finish this. If he had challenged it that way and actually done what he ought to have done, where was the drama? Where was his chance of this political aggrandizement? Where was his chance of playing the martyr? Where was the chance of bailing out before it was found out that he could not deliver? Where was all that then? He missed the opportunity. So he did not want to miss that opportunity.
Challenge it in a court of law.
The cost.
Challenge it in a court of law. It's not going to be dramatic, but challenge it. You have that option.
Astute.
Absolutely. Mr. Kamal Mitra Chenoy.
This is very illogical.
Why?
Now, this situation. Arnab,
why should Arvind Kejriwal, who is being supported by the Congress, be in a hurry to bail out? If he wanted to improve his chances in the Lok Sabha elections, why wouldn't he hold on another month? The problem was that after the Jan Lokpal bill, he wanted to move the Swaraj bill, and that would also have been opposed because it would have been an amendment of the Bhagidari
of Delhi also.
Mr. Sundaram.
What about the promises about things he would do for the city? What about things that he had promised he would do for the governance of Delhi?
Answer that.
Yes, we have this huge movement on the Lokpal bill, but what about daily governance?
He definitely tried.
Or is it that
tried.
we still have to have a cause which will make the people
vote? He has brought down tariffs.
So keep on with the cause.
I'm very sorry. Kamal Mitra Chenoy, let's get the Congress party and don't tell me what he's done and what he's not. The fact is, there are 10,000 people tonight, right, who are working with the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, for example, on a contractual basis. You had said, Arvind Kejriwal said, no contractual jobs for work that is required 365 days a year. I will ensure implementation of minimum wages. I'm only taking them one. Today, what will you say to those 10,000 people who are working in the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation? Sorry, I want to fight a Lok Sabha election. And I'm ambitious. No, I'm ambitious. And the Lok Sabha elections are 2-3 months away.
Been moved by the government.
Please.
It's pending with the central government because it involves finances.
I'm setting up of courts for speedy justice.
You are really understating the intelligence of a man who was elected by quite a majority.
Sir, I am questioning. I am not understating the intelligence. In fact, I am saying it is possible the person is extremely politically cunning and savvy. That person has planned this all out. He wouldn't care that there are 18,000 kilometers of sewer lines in Delhi, that you have only half. Delhi can go to hell. What about the slum dwellers? 60 lakh slum dwellers in Delhi. You said to them, we will rehabilitate people living in slums. We will give you flats and plots near your site, near the location of the slums.
Arnab,
we will change your life.
Are you aware?
We will change your life.
But Arnab, land in Delhi is under the union government.
So then why don't you go to court? Why did you make the promise?
Why make these promises?
Why make these promises?
If today you say we couldn't do it,
we were hoping.
Government, then why make the promises? Why fool the people?
No, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, please don't.
Congress supported us, we could have done it.
What are you doing? Till rehabilitation is done, no slums will be demolished. We will improve your living conditions. You will have water, sewerage lines, proper waste management. There will be special courts that will be set up in Delhi. People will not be on contract labor. All unauthorized colonies will be regularized. There will be new teams which will be formed for the safety of women. What happened to all that? Suddenly you go on a technicality and you bail out and you expect people not to ask these questions. Kamal Mitra Chenoy, come on. Arvind Kejriwal said, I want to work with a missionary zeal. He said, I want to work with a missionary zeal, but that does not mean that I am destructive in my approach to governance. He said, I will work in a constructive and not a destructive way. I will take the people of Delhi along. My question to you is, did he take the people of Delhi along when he ejected himself out of that chair today? When he ejected himself, people were looking not just in Delhi, Kamal Mitra Chenoy. People were looking all over India. People were looking at an option to the Congress, an alternative to the BJP. Where is the alternative to the Congress and the BJP in a person who bailed out in this manner today?
He didn't bail out.
This is not a bailout. Sanjay Jha, let's get one second.
Is that what you call a bailout?
Okay, Sanjay Jha, this is not a bailout. This is not a bailout. We were forced to do this. Your response to Kamal Mitra Chenoy.
Well, I can tell you, Arnab, frankly, if you look at the events as they've unfolded, the moment Parliament, the entire political system created the Lokpal bill, I think it took the wind out of the sails of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's party. And look how disingenuous they are being. They are not telling the people of Delhi and the people of India that you already have a powerful Lokayukt and a Lokpal bill which has been passed, which is a model for all states to follow, and some states are already implementing it. Now, the question is, he's again used the Jan Lokpal as a very tactical pretext to get out of this government, because his only agenda is to try and create Lokpal as a linkage to the fact that what the government has passed is not perfect, and what he has as an anti-corruption legislation is the only alternative to combat corruption in India. Look at the fact that his FIRs have followed, preceded by a couple of days ago. He's found governance impossible. I mean, the truth is, we backed him, we continue to back him till today, but he realizes that there are procedural problems, that there is a constitutional process that has to be respected. You can't be insulting the Lieutenant Governor, the Ministry of Home Affairs. There is a process. If you want to challenge it, as you rightly raised in your program, you have to go to courts or you have to negotiate.
Okay, those are pictures of Arvind Kejriwal going into the Lieutenant Governor's residence to put in his resignation. Yes, continue,
He's
Sanjay.
running away from a responsibility.
After all, legislature itself can change the rule. But he couldn't do that politically. He couldn't do it in the constitutional manner. He could either go to court and challenge it, or he could use his legislative power to amend it. But he couldn't do either. He found that going the political route, the constitutional route, was a problem. So therefore, this became a great excuse to get out of his inability to deliver on what he had promised.
Let's get Sabir Ali in, just get a third voice on the fact that people were looking at a non-Congress, non-BJP alternative, Sabir Ali, and many people did believe, before all this drama went overboard, that the Aam Aadmi Party could have given that kind of an alternative. Now this 48-day bailout, what impact will it have on those people?
Arnab, before I go ahead with on this Aam Aadmi Party, I can tell you this is not the bailout of the Kejriwal. He knew that there is internal, his own MLAs was ready to voice against him. This is the fact. And that was the worst position is going to be happen for the Arvind Kejriwal. See, whatever we are talking today, everybody knows it's all drama, it's all, it's dreams shown to the people in the, all rosy picture has been given to the delight peoples. I was the president of my party in Delhi when I was campaigning. All those issues has been, touched by me personally. So that I was fully aware about, and he knows this is the point where I can bail out myself. If I can save my face, I can say, not the bail out. And definitely he has his intention to go high fly, but I can say the magician can pull the crowd for the moment. And there was, Congress has given such kind of governance, is corruption and all those issues last from 4 years. People were fed up in Delhi, all the price rise, everything, because I do live in Delhi, so I know fully aware about what the people are thinking. I can say from my home districts, more than 5,000 rickshaw, the rickshaw, three-wheeler drivers are there. What they were talking today and what they were talking 2 months ago, there is a drastic change in the people. But that magic is not going to run in this coming elections. That much I can tell you. Well, and he knew that. I'm not going to save my face, not for the other party, Congress or BJP, what they are
No, but there were two alternatives.
Within the party
there were two alternatives. Many people believe, Subramaniam, Swamy, let me draw you back. Many people did believe that Arvind Kejriwal's strategy was, when he chose to be chief minister with the Congress party support, which itself surprised so many people, why do you want to take the support of a party you constantly criticize, that I will perform. In fact, he kept saying, I remember my interview with him, we will do so much in 3 months that people will look at us as an option at the center. When do you think that change happened? Actually, no, you're not an objective person, you are constantly anti-Aam Aadmi Party, but anyway, let me ask you, when did that change happen? Why did he not choose the first option of doing so much in 3 months that nationally people would say, wow, here is a person who can deliver and not just do drama?
Well, first of all, he promised on the heads of his 2 children that he will never take the support of the Congress party. It's not that he was critical of Congress and took their support. The second thing is, the art of governance is a complicated process. It requires a lot of experience. And these people are all inexperienced people. They don't know how a government runs. And their ideological persuasion, which they have so far hidden from the public, which is extreme left-wing thing. And in fact, some of the things they try to introduce, were planning to introduce, like the Mohalla Sabhas and all, are reminiscent of the Naxalite movement in Bengal. So I think basically this constitutional government doesn't suit, is not their cup of tea, and therefore they decide to get out.
No, but so Kamal Mitra Chenoy, just one question. You have been keeping on saying, I'm continuing the debate in a minute, but I just have one question. Former Additional Solicitor General Mr. Bhatt is also one of the people who you consulted. He said the following. He said, and I quote, "The remedy is to go to a court of law and challenge the validity of the rules." This is somebody you sought his advice and he told you to do that. Why did you not choose to do that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we had to choose between the experts, and Soli was the most senior.
No,
and
any
if,
expert who disagrees with you is not an expert.
Interpretation of the rules had been followed. No. We could have done it through
I don't understand this logic, Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy. Sorry, but you have to. You say Soli Sorabji. I just proved to you right now that there was another person who you consulted, Additional Solicitor General Mr. Bhatt. Aryaman Sundaram is a man of the court.
Yes, but
I'm sure Mr. Bhatt is not a completely unaware novice. But so any expert who disagrees with you,
but he's not a constitutional expert.
Then why did you go to
He's not a constitutional expert, unlike people like Soli Sorabji, or for that matter, the retired Sunny Nariman.
No, so I understand today that somebody who disagrees with you is not an expert. You're using an expert as a prop. Aryaman Sundaram?
Look, Arnab, I think we can go around with this hyperbole all we want. Very simply put, there is a rule which is in force. You feel the rule is unconstitutional, challenge it or amend it. But I cannot believe a government, when there is a rule which governs them, to turn around and say, we will not obey our own rule. Why? Because we believe our rule is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
If you believe your rule is unconstitutional, please change it. But if you feel that politically you are disabled from doing so, then go to court. But the fact of the matter is that all that happened was a great opportunity presented itself to bail out. And with that opportunity, now the whole answer is, do you think he can fool the people for a little more time till the 2014 polls or not? Because basically, as far as I'm concerned, I had great hope in the idealism I was told about, in the promises which were made. And today I have seen no steps being taken towards those promises, except for this whole issue, which is going to be a controversial issue, which he knows very well is going to create a huge issue, which is also going to result in his possibly having to resign.
Well,
but why follow only those issues?
Well, the fact is Kejriwal just resigned. He's gone to the Lieutenant Governor's residence. We're taking this discussion forward on points, on facts, on matters of law. And as far as the Constitution is concerned, we are not seeing a serious defense from the Aam Aadmi Party on this subject. Let's see if they can strike back. We're going to go back to this debate in 2 minutes. We are back in 2 minutes.